Pretty boring. Another billionaire went to space. Yippee. But hey, before we talk about that, let's talk about the giveaway program. It started. So the big giveaway has begun. And this is just the beginning. The FAA started the ball rolling at the end of calendar year 21 with a layout of almost $3 billion in infrastructure projects for airports. And that's part of the $15 billion allocation over the next 5 years. And that puts a pretty heavy dent in what the FAA estimates to be nearly $50 billion in backlog projects. And they're taking a further step by making sure they have sufficient outreach to minority businesses across the nation to further make people aware of the opportunities. The money can be invested in runways, taxiways, safety and sustainability projects, terminals, airport transit, roadway projects, connections. But hey, let's think about beyond the concrete part. Remember that safety and sustainability part makes me think of technologies like foreign object detection, ground vehicle tracking systems, Aeromax kind of things, which are connectivity for ground systems, counter UAS systems, all available in the mix. This is a great start. TSA is showing a very interesting trend. Streamlining operations means having someone else do the work. And in most cases, that someone else is the passenger. If a passenger wants to get through a checkpoint quicker, the passenger does all the work and filling out the forms, gets pre-cleared, all those kinds of things. And if you want to go even quicker, you pay your $80 and go through the clear lane. And now TSA announced the Passenger Self-Screening Project. Awesome! Where passengers will be allowed to complete screening activities by themselves, similar to checkout at your local grocery store. To get started, DHS, the Science and Technology Directorate, developed a Passenger Self-Screening Concept and Design Prototype. If this works like other screening technologies, this concept and prototype will establish the requirements, which will lead to a production system and potentially installation contracts. So we'll probably get through faster, but don't forget, passengers are going to do all the work, including taking their shoes off, or not. Oh, it is certainly getting kind of boring listening to billionaires going into space, but another one did. Commercial space travel has become kind of boring. This trip was not one of those 15-minute carnival rides, though, that Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson took. This is about Japanese billionaire Yasuko Miyazawa, who docked at the International Space Station, making him the first self-funded tourist to visit the space station in over 10 years. He'll spend about 12 days aboard the station with Russian cosmonauts and a video producer who is filming the trip. And of course, these daredevils will get their money back. There'll be probably a pay-per-view kind of thing, or he'll get views on YouTube or something. So what do you do for 12 days? I don't know. You're in a can in space. I just watched look at the view. But Miyazawa didn't bring any science experiments, and he seemed like he was worried about being bored. So he asked his YouTube fans what he should do. So he has a list of 100 activities, including playing golf, hosting a badminton tournament, getting a haircut. Getting a haircut in space, I never really thought about that. My hair looks bad anyway, so that probably wouldn't matter. And he's also going to live stream some stuff on YouTube. What's interesting about him is he made his fortune from an e-commerce site and then selling it off to SoftBank. But what makes him a little bit different, he's not really a finance guy or anything. He was a drummer in the punk rock band called Switch Style. Now, he's a guy I might want to watch on YouTube. The latest pivot in right-to-your-door delivery is the ultra-fast grocery delivery service. I mean, who wouldn't want your coffee or something delivered to your door in 10 to 15 minutes? I can wait that long. The VC market startup Joker hit unicorn status last week in just 6 months. Now DoorDash is launching an ultra-fast delivery pilot program in New York's Chelsea neighborhood. Instacart is supposed to be coming up next. But all these services use drivers and the trusty automobile to make super fast deliveries. kind of hard to do in crowded neighborhoods in New York City. But with climate issues on the forefront, so people probably shouldn't be using gas-powered cars, New York City traffic, it is obvious that drone delivery service could be the next logical step. Better for the environment, more predictable, and probably lower cost. Now, drones in New York City are no-no right now, but that is where a UTM system comes in. Yes, there is needed infrastructure, but by neighborhood, just the way that DoorDash is rolling out their super speedy delivery service, that makes UTM so much less daunting. Infrastructure comes in, communities can know what's going on, understand what's happening, understand that people aren't just spying on them, they're just getting their morning coffee. Seems like there are a large wave of ultra-fast desire could lead to an ultra-fast adoption of UTM. That's what I'm talking about. You know, we go from super fast delivery to just getting a delivery at all. So Cape Cod and the surrounding region of that part of Massachusetts and New England, you know, have a lot of hard-to-reach communities, islands, peninsulas, offshore energy projects, where drones can provide an effective method to deliver things and keeping those spots connected to the mainland and keeping them on the grid. So the Massachusetts Department of Transportation is investigating the further use of drones as a solution to connect communities to everyday services such as healthcare, logistics, and they want to provide that capability, especially emergency medical delivery after storms and natural disasters. After the snow they just had and things like that, makes a lot of sense. MassDOT has already established a drone program that inspects railroads along the Fitchburg line and documenting the health and wetlands of various construction projects around the state. But they want to do more. They have partnered with Skyports. Yes, the same company that is establishing a vertiport in Paris for the Olympics in 2024 to demonstrate drone services around Cape Cod. Skyports is very different from Wing and Amazon, and what they're doing is the Skyports drones carry up to payloads of 100 pounds. Yes, you need waivers and exclusions for all that kind of stuff. And they can fly in harsh weather conditions, including wind and rain. The first routes would be in Woods Hole, which is down by Falmouth, and there's some exploration and marine biology places down there, over to the island at Martha's Vineyard. And the FAA has granted a waiver for that project for a beyond visual line of sight test for a week. And as this network grows and scales, and it becomes more complex, then UTM comes to mind and things like that. And the need for infrastructure to enable even urban air mobility, which may be useful in that kind of environment, will be required too. It's a great step forward, and looking forward to checking out with the results of whether it worked or not. We've had a couple of bad weather things. Should have some data now. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you want to hear more. Tell me what you liked and didn't like, and we'll see you next time. 50 million. Shit. Shit.